chapters 16 through 20 of the Gospel according to Matthew, from the American Bible Union's New Testament. This LibriVox recording is in the public domain. Recording by Mark Penfold. Chapters 16 through 20 of the Gospel according to Matthew. Chapter 16. And the Pharisees and Sadducees came to him, and tempting desired him to show them a sign from heaven. And he answering said to them, When it is evening ye say, Fair weather, for the sky is red. And in the morning, A storm today, for the sky is red and lowering. Ye know how to discern the face of the sky, but can ye not the signs of the times? An evil and adulterous generation seeks after a sign, and no sign shall be given to it but the sign of Jonah. And he left them and departed. And coming to the other side, his disciples forgot to take bread. And Jesus said to them, Take heed, and beware of the leaven of the Pharisees and Sadducees. And they reasoned among themselves, saying, Because we took no bread. And Jesus, knowing it, said, Ye of little faith, why reason ye among yourselves, because ye took no bread? Do ye not yet understand, nor remember the 5 loaves of the 5,000, and how many baskets ye took up? Nor the 7 loaves of the 4,000, and how many baskets ye took up? How is it that ye do not understand that I spoke not to you of bread? But beware of the leaven of the Pharisees and Sadducees. Then they understood that he did not bid them beware of the leaven of bread, but of the teaching of the Pharisees and Sadducees. And having come into the region of Caesarea Philippi, Jesus asked his disciples, saying, Who do men say that the Son of Man is? And they said, Some John the Immerser, and others Elijah, and others Jeremiah, or one of the prophets. He says to them, But who do ye say that I am? And Simon Peter answering said, Thou art the Christ, the Son of the living God. And Jesus answering said to him, Happy art thou, Simon Bar-Jonah, for flesh and blood did not reveal it to thee, but my Father who is in heaven. And I also say to thee that thou art Peter, and upon this rock I will build my church, and the gates of the underworld shall not prevail against it. And I will give to thee the keys of the kingdom of heaven, and whatever thou shalt bind on earth shall be bound in heaven, and whatever thou shalt loose on earth shall be loosed in heaven. Then he charged his disciples that they should tell no one that he is the Christ. From that time Jesus began to show to his disciples that he must go to Jerusalem and suffer many things from the elders and chief priests and scribes, and be put to death and rise on the 3rd day. And Peter taking him aside began to rebuke him, saying, Be it far from thee, Lord, this shall not be to thee. But he turned and said to Peter, Get thee behind me, Satan! Thou art an offense to me, for thou thinkest not the things of God, but those of men. Then Jesus said to his disciples, If anyone will come after me, let him deny himself and take up his cross and follow me. For whoever will save his life shall lose it, and whoever may lose his life for my sake shall find it. For what is a man profited if he shall gain the whole world and forfeit his soul? Or what shall a man give as an exchange for his soul? For the Son of Man will come in the glory of his Father with his angels, and then he will reward each one according to his works. Verily I say to you, there are some of those standing here who shall not taste death till they see the Son of Man coming in his kingdom. Chapter 17. And after 6 days Jesus takes with him Peter and James and John his brother, and brings them up into a high mountain apart. And he was transfigured before them, and his face shone as the sun, and his garments became white as the light. And behold, there appeared to them Moses and Elijah talking with him. And Peter answering said to Jesus, Lord, it is good for us to be here. If thou wilt, let us make here 3 tents, one for thee, and one for Moses, and one for Elijah. While he was yet speaking, behold, a bright cloud overshadowed them. And behold, a voice out of the cloud, saying, This is my beloved Son, in whom I am well pleased. Hear ye him. And the disciples, hearing it, fell on their face and were exceedingly afraid. And Jesus coming to them touched them and said, Arise and be not afraid. And lifting up their eyes, they saw no one save Jesus only. And as they came down out of the mountain, Jesus charged them, saying, "Tell no one the vision until the Son of Man is risen from the dead." And his disciples asked him, saying, "Why then say the scribes that Elijah must come first?" And he answering said, "Elijah indeed comes, and will restore all things. But I say to you that Elijah is already come, and they knew him not, but did with him whatever they would. So also is the Son of Man about to suffer by them." Then the disciples understood that he spoke to them of John the Immerser. And when they were come to the multitude, there came to him a man kneeling down to him and saying, "Lord, have mercy on my son, for he is lunatic and is sorely afflicted. For ofttimes he falls into the fire, and oft into the water. And I brought him to thy disciples, and they could not cure him." And Jesus answering said, "O faithless and perverse generation, how long shall I be with you? How long shall I bear with you? Bring him hither to me." And Jesus rebuked him, and the demon went out from him, and the child was cured from that hour. Then the disciples, coming to Jesus apart, said, Why could we not cast him out? And he said to them, "Because of your want of faith. For verily I say to you, if ye have faith as a grain of mustard, ye shall say to this mountain, Remove hence to yonder place, and it shall remove, and nothing shall be impossible to you. But this kind goes not forth except by prayer and fasting." And while they abode in Galilee, Jesus said to them, "The Son of Man is about to be delivered into the hands of men, and they will put him to death, and he will rise on the third day." And they were exceedingly sorrowful. And they, having come to Capernaum, those who received the half shekel came to Peter and said, "Does not your teacher pay the half shekel?" He says, "Yes." And when he came into the house, Jesus anticipated him, saying, "What thinkest thou, Simon? Of whom do the kings of the earth take customs or tribute? Of their sons, or of strangers?" He says to him, "Of strangers." Jesus said to him, "Then are the sons free. But that we may not offend them, go to the sea and cast a hook, and take the fish that first comes up, and opening its mouth thou wilt find a shekel. That take, and give to them for me and thee." Chapter 18. At that time came the disciples to Jesus, saying, "Who then is greatest in the kingdom of heaven?" And Jesus, calling a little child to him, placed it in the midst of them, and said, "Verily I say to you, if ye do not turn and become as the little children, ye shall not enter into the kingdom of heaven. Whoever therefore shall humble himself as this little child, he is the greatest in the kingdom of heaven. And whoever shall receive one such little child in my name receives me. But whoever shall cause one of these little ones that believe on me to offend, it were better for him that an upper millstone were hanged about his neck, and he were plunged in the depth of the sea. Woe to the world for causes of offense! For it must needs be that causes of offense come. But woe to that man through whom the cause of offense comes! But if thy hand or thy foot causes thee to offend, cut it off and cast it from thee. It is better for thee to enter into life lame or maimed, than having 2 hands or 2 feet to be cast into the everlasting fire. And if thine eye causes thee to offend, pluck it out and cast it from thee. It is better for thee to enter into life with 1 eye, than having 2 eyes to be cast into hell fire. Take heed that ye despise not one of these little ones. For I say to you that their angels in heaven always behold the face of my Father who is in heaven. For the Son of Man came to save that which was lost. What think ye? If a man has 100 sheep, and one of them is gone astray, does he not leave the 99 upon the mountains, and go and seek that which is gone astray? And if it be that he find it, verily I say to you, he rejoices over it more than over the 99 that went not astray. So it is not the will of your Father who is in heaven that one of these little ones perish. But if thy brother shall sin against thee, go show him his fault between thee and him alone. If he shall hear thee, thou hast gained thy brother. But if he hear not, take with thee 1 or 2 more, that in the mouth of 2 or 3 witnesses every word may be established. And if he shall neglect to hear them, tell it to the church. And if he neglect to hear the church also, Let him be to thee as a heathen